Hey everybody, hey, we have a wonderful treat today. Actually, we have a personal friend of mine and Sean, Jeff Crystal, with us here today. And he's going to be talking to us a little bit about his favorite technique or setup that he looks for when he trades. And you know what? Jeff's been trading for a long time, and he's one of the best traders that I personally know. And so I'm really, really excited today to get an opportunity to learn from him, really, and to see what he has to say, you know. And those of you guys who don't know this or not, but we actually spent the last couple days together, didn't we?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
We started out Saturday and took Sean and his wife to a Sting concert, got home at 12, and then at 4 a.m. you showed up at the house.
Knocking on the door.
Yep, knocking on the door at 4 a.m. Yep,
so let's go fishing.
Yeah, so we drove up through Idaho, where I'm from, and we drove up into what's called Birch Creek, went fishing there, and then Hayden Creek and Bear Creek, which is up by Salmon. We went up and stayed.
Idaho, Salmon, Idaho.
Salmon, Idaho. Yeah, we don't want to get confused.
Yeah.
But I thought that was the only place that. Yeah. So and then we went up into Canada and went up into Calgary.
Yeah.
Calgary, and then we took the Sun Road. It was awesome. Awesome. If you ever get to drive that, drive it with everybody except our cameraman. He gets a little nervous, but the Sun Road was really fun to go across, straight up.
Up in Glacier National Park in
Yep.
Montana, the very tip of Montana, like really close to Canada.
Yep.
Yeah, we actually had a really, really awesome opportunity to go up to Calgary with Trader on the Street and to do our first ever rally. So those of you guys who don't know what a rally is, make sure you check out Trader on the Street and learn more about rallies, because we'd love to see you at the next one. But it was an awesome time. We went up there, we traded with our Canadian traders. We had a room full, a hotel room full of, or conference room full of traders, and we got to actually have a guest trader. Let's see, John Francois.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know how to say
yeah, we probably couldn't pronounce it if we tried. Jean-Francois Boucher. And John, if you're watching, and I apologize already, yeah. But I think you walked away with something like $1,300 for like an hour, hour and a half maybe of trading. Yeah. And so what a great opportunity for him and for everybody else watching. And then we stayed with everybody and we taught them a little bit and got to interact with them. And it was really, really a great time. And I got to thinking up there, you know what would be awesome is on our way back, and we're actually in Idaho right now, on our way back to the office, if we stopped and kind of fish some more, and then also get Jeff on camera, because he's taught me so much about trading and in the markets. And as I'm driving with him, I'm talking trading, I'm learning so much. And I'm like, you know what would be awesome is if you told the people a little bit of who you are, first of all, maybe share a little bit about you, and then tell them a little bit what you've been telling me for the past little bit. That would be awesome.
Yeah. I like really kind of hands-off trading. I've been trading since '92. I moved to Salt Lake in '92, got robbed at gunpoint, quit my job, and found one in the stock market. Been stuck ever since. But I prefer like a little bit longer trade instead of scalping. Sometimes I scalp, but it was nice because we set some trades up before we left, and I think yesterday we had like a $2,600 gain, and this morning when we got to Idaho, we looked and it was like another $1,300 gain, and was fishing. Yeah. That's what it's about. Yeah. But the way we kind of do that, let me tell you a little bit about me before we get into some techniques and some strategies. I've been trading since '92. Well, stocks, commodities, options, currencies, you name it. If it moves, I'll trade it. It's got to move, and then I'll trade it, because volatility is what you really need. And there's some ways that we can look at that. And in about 2001, I started working on computer models to help me mine for stocks or mine for currencies, and those models help me a whole bunch. But in the currency market, one of my favorite ones is going on right now today. Rate cuts, man, they move the currency market, Dave. They move it a ton.
Rate cuts, powerful.
Powerful, yeah. You've got the Fed in there talking about it. And here's one easy strategy that you want to take. I'm going to draw this. I hope you guys can see this. This is a little sideways market. And if you find a nice sideways market, let's take on the Euro USD. One of the advantages you have in Forex is there's the Euro, besides the Euro USD, you have the Euro CAD, because we just came from Canada, and you have the Euro GBP, EUR GBP, GBP, and there's a few more. You've got the Euro Swiss franc, the Euro Swiss, and if you catch these breaking out, like this one breaking out, this one breaking out, then we've got the Euro Aussie, and the Euro Aussie breaking out. Maybe the let's get my little eraser right here. Got a fly that's trying to get a hold of me, and I'm going to use him for fish bait if he doesn't knock it off. We're going to go to Euro right here. Let's put in JPY. If all of these break out, and we're saying that we have this pattern on the Euro, and then it breaks out.
I'm waiting for your mom to get here because I'm going to crack the. I heard you trade your own mom.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah, we're not bringing that up at her house. Yeah, I could throw it on there. But these guys are laughing. Normally I say, just as a side note, that I would trade anything, even my own mom. But I'm in her front yard right now. We're at my ancestral home. There, it's been in our family 6 generations, I think, or 5 or 6, and it's up in southeastern Idaho along the Snake River. Yeah, they're not home, so it's fair to say that you trade your own mom right now. But if you take these breaking out, the more that break out, you increase your size. So if this one breaks out at the same time, this one breaks out, this one breaks out, this one breaks out, it gives you a real advantage to add into that trade. So anyways, we look for it's called a correlated breakout.
Okay.
The more things that break out, it builds momentum. And we use the same technique in stocks. You know, how much of your sector is breaking out. But anyways, what we do is we look for these correlated breakouts inside there, and that's an awesome strategy to put in. And because you can set the order, like this is one of the ones, this is what Dave set up. It was this morning, wasn't it, Dave?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Dave, he wasn't able to check to see if it was correlated, but it still works like this. We knew that there'd be like some news out or a rate cut today. And so Dave, he just did something really simple. He put in, last night before dinner, he put in a buy stop. He put in a real tight target, put in a sell stop, and the market shot up. Didn't it hit your target?
It did.
And then it shot down, hit his target on the other side. He caught both sides while he was having a steak.
Yep.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, because then he put some money in his pocket while he was having a steak.
Yep.
Yeah, and a nice thing, one of the things I like about Forex is you can withdraw that money right away.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, if it's your account.
I needed to pay for my steak.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you can withdraw it right away. With stocks, you have to wait 4 days to get your money. It's trading day plus 3 days. I don't know if you knew that, but futures, you have to wait 24 hours. Forex, you can get it right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could take your sweetie to lunch, you know. My anniversary's coming up Monday, so I need to get some trades on.
I think we were, was it Tuesday? No, yeah, it was Tuesday night, or the night before the rally.
Yeah.
Sean should have been sleeping.
Yeah. Sean and I have been friends for 20 plus years. And that kid, I shared the room with him, and he wouldn't go to sleep. He was like a little kid in a candy store. He was trading really well. And he's like, wake up. And I'm like, no, I've been in the car all day. I want to sleep. I've already got my stuff set up. He's like, wake up and trade with me. And I'm like, no. So he had no sleep at all.
He didn't sleep, but the next morning he says, I had a great day. I couldn't stop, couldn't put it down. He's like, I actually paid for the entire trip in a couple hours of sleeplessness, and he's such a trooper. He went the next day and traded with Jean, and still was like, he just loves trading.
Yeah.
That man loves trading, and so that's the power of trading, right? We can come up, we go fishing, pay for the trip, pay for the entire trip while you're on it. You know what I mean? That's just the power of trading. That's what I love.
Exactly.
And that's what, I mean, that's
you could do it from any place,
any
except
place.
for right near the border of Canada and Idaho. It didn't work out so good. We tried to pull over, and we couldn't get good signal on an American Indian reservation. We had to putter down to my parents because the signal wasn't the best. But yeah. But other than that, fighting with a signal every once in a while. If you got your trade set right, like you did during dinner, you were even kind. You didn't break any of the manners and open your phone during dinner. It hit it. He showed us afterwards. He had his phone set down, and it hit his targets. So that's one strategy I like. I do that with stocks. You do it by the percent of the sector breaking out. So if 80% of the sector is breaking out, it's a really strong trade. Like today, a lot of things, and yesterday. it's like hitting fish in a barrel. The market's just been ripping because we knew volatility was coming in. And so this is a great trade. I call this right now just a narrow breakout. It's our Trump trade because he's going to tweet. Trump tweet. Yep. Yeah. Trump tweeting our trade. Because
it's a tweety trade.
Yeah, it's a tweet trade. Do you expect this thing not to go sideways? Well, if we find it, we're lucky we find it sideways, then we put in a breakout trade because he's going to tweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can't resist it. It's going to go up, and he's going to tweet it. So right now, for this type of market, there's a more in-depth strategy that I could show him. And I help Sean with Apiary. Sometimes I do some things with the cat tools classes, and took him a while to talk me into doing it, but I could show you a more in-depth way in there using Bollinger Bands and Keltner channels, an easy way to identify the trade and have it pop up. And you could take it when it breaks either way. There's a book you can read too, a little bit about it. It's by John Carter. I think it's called Mastering the Trade by John Carter. It talks about this type of trading. That's a pretty good little book. So I didn't invent that. But usually I invent my own methods in trading. I don't trust most people, and I dig it up and set up my own. Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you a few questions if you don't mind.
Yeah,
so you've been trading since 92?
Yeah, a long time.
92. Did you ever take a break in that period of time, or are you full on?
I was barred from trading for 1 year. The reason was I was going through a divorce, and my account was a joint account, and until the divorce settled, I couldn't trade any money in that account, but that was all my money, and all the extra money was going to the lawyers. So I couldn't open a new account. I'm like, So for about 1 year in there, I couldn't trade very much. A forced break.
A forced break.
Yeah, that was about the only time. And then, regrettably, that happened in 2000 to 2001, and then the divorce settled 2001, and I was long calls on September 11th, so I got clobbered during September 11th. Yeah, I got clobbered there. My kids moved out of state, and I had a job where I learned to trade. I worked for eSignal, and they flew me around the country for 10 years, and I had a gold card. I could take traders out drinking or to dinner, and I'd just write notes about how they were trading, and then I would I would try to sell them eSignal's data feed, which would tell them where stocks were. And back then, there was nothing free on the internet, really. You had to have some data feed to trade. Data feed just means like your charts. And so I sold charting software for a while. That's how I got started, actually. Back then, it was easy trading, Dave. It was easy. Everything went straight up. Yeah, the internet just came up. You just had to buy something long. You didn't even have to feel smart. And then I thought I was really smart. And I wasn't so smart. Yeah, because I just kept buying long, and I did really well through there. But then when the market went a different direction, I was ill prepared for it.
So take me back to 1992. What went through your head and said, I want to learn how to trade?
Oh, this is awesome. That's such a good question with me. Let me erase my screen right here. So in college, so I had came down to live with my grandma, and in college they drew this little picture. They drew it up here, and they said right here at the top, a PhD makes $120,000. Now I'm 53, so this was a while ago. So right here, you go down to like a bachelor's, and you made like 60K maybe. And then they drew this down. An associate was clear down at like 24K. Well, that's your master's, and in between there was a bachelor's. In between there, that was your associate's right here. And then the very bottom one was no degree. You made less than 24,000. Well, my first trade, one of my first trades, I made $14,500 in like 30 minutes. And at the time, I was a tech support guy making $8 an hour.
That's a pretty good trade.
Yeah, it was more than a year's wage. But when I figured this out and I extrapolated, because I'm one that'll do the math on it, I'm like, holy cow, traders make more than basketball stars. They do. They do more than games, and without the risk of being injured. All you have to do is control your losses, and you make a lot of money, a lot. And there's that potential there. And just by having a potential, one of the things you and I talked about is I've never enjoyed working for wages at all, because you have no potential to get the extra effort in. And so if you put extra effort in, there's a bee, guys, and I don't know if he smells the fish food on me or what he smells, because I'm be glad you're behind the camera, because My mom, when she gets here, I'm 53, she's going to make me shower because I don't smell easy breezy beautiful, and that bee is all over me.
It's taking a lot for me to sit next to you.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
yeah, yep. So anyways, I almost lost my train of thought, but you could make so much money in that as long as you have an open-ended potential. And so lots of things that I like. This is maybe what's called a risk graph. This is your open-ended potential. You want to close this off so you have fixed risk, and open-ended potential where you can make tons of money if it runs. And that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Like, I can tell you tons of stories in my career where if you just put your order in like you did at dinner, it'll pop and go your way. And you just have to always be there. The work in trading is placing the trade. Don't think traders don't work. Look at me. Don't think traders don't work. Every trader works. Everyone does. Yeah, Eve ate the apple. We all have to work. Okay, now you have to put your trades in. You don't put them in, you're a poser. It's like the little ski bunny you've seen up there, just with the pretty clothes on, but they don't ski. Yeah, that's a trader that says, oh, I trade, but he didn't put a trade in. No, you have to put your trades in. Dave wouldn't have made any money during dinner if he didn't place his trade. I would have laughed at him. Actually, I would have teased him. Yeah.
It's a good thing I did then.
Yeah, it's a good thing you did. Yeah, you have to do that.
You got to do it. You got to put in the work if you want the reward.
That's right.
Harvest the benefit.
Yeah, and another thing that helps you is being prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't let other things drop in.
Speaking about being prepared, what did you do to prepare yourself to be a trader? Like what kind of knowledge did you seek out? School, training? Did you do it yourself? And what was that journey like in the beginning stages?
So I worked at that e-signal company, and they let me fly all over the country, and I was one of their tech guys. And they moved me out of tech support, and they called me Mr. Other reasons not to fire Jeff. And they had me go out on sales calls. And so what I would do is I would go on these sales calls, and I would go take out famous traders, and take them out to dinner, or I would talk to them on the phone, and I would say, look, we'll code up your strategies, and we'll take those strategies and put them into a computer, and you can sell your strategy if you want. So I got to learn on stuff like that. But it was not until after September 11th, the market was going up all the time. After September 11th, it was going up, up, up. Well, before September 11th, it was going up, 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 and then it shot straight down from about 2000, because I was trading stocks back there, to 2001. It went straight down. The company I was working for closed up shop, and it dropped out from underneath it, and I was ill prepared to trade that because this had been easy. So my first 10 years of trading, it was easy. You just had to go long. It never went down. It was easy. You just kept doing that, and my account kept getting bigger and bigger. And after September 11th, I started to trade Forex. So I've been trading Forex since 2001, but I still trade everything because I have some models I really like in stocks and options.
Sure.
And I have some models that I really like in currencies, like this news breakout. Just today, like you got. These little sideways breakouts are fun. And look at them. I like those because that's the way the market for me is setting up right now. But I've been trading those for, let's see, that's almost 20 years now. Wow, time goes so fast. It goes fast. We were talking about that. One day you wake up and you're old. Yeah. So, but I've had a lot of fun. Trading has made my life enjoyable. I have a saying that I tell my friends that have 9-to-5 jobs. I don't think you've ever heard it because you trade too. Opus Dei. Beat yourself and go to work all you want. Opus Dei. Yeah, I do not. I hate that. I would rather place a trade and have it go my way. It might take some time. You got to let it mature, and you got to work through your models. One thing that you have to be prepared for mentally is that you're on a variable income, and we talked about that a little bit on the way up because variable income, you have to manage for that, and it helps. It helps people. If they've been on that before, like salesmen, they actually do a little better. Something
I've heard a lot of advice from traders and says, when you're starting to trade, don't quit your day job, right?
Oh, never.
Don't try to live on trading in the beginning because it's just too much stress, too much pressure, right?
You don't know everything.
You don't know everything.
Yeah,
right?
You might think you do, but you don't. You might think you do. I'm still learning stuff after 30 years in the market.
Yeah.
Still learning things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never thought we'd have a president who would tweet so much.
Yeah, or you never thought that social media would be a part of trading.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
That's new.
Well, and one cool thing is that the internet's getting better and better wherever we go. Wherever we go, I mean, we can sit and pop on
everywhere.
set your trade up, look at it. And I had friends that were texting me all the prices I wanted.
Yeah.
Because even though I couldn't connect, I could still get the prices and know where everything was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like this morning while we were fishing, I was looking at my phone. You know,
Yeah.
I get intermittent signals, but every time
hit catching your line in the tree.
Hey, we're not going to talk about that, Jeff.
Guys, I had the most unmanly experience with Dave. I'm old and I couldn't see to thread the fishing hook. I had to have Dave tie my hook on like a kid. I was so distraught, but I caught the first fish.
It's true.
Yeah, I got the first one on there. Probably because he was busy tying my fly on.
Yeah, Jeff really got the first fish. He got a fish this big.
Yeah,
this big.
Yeah. You guys will have to Google Hayden Creek and Bear Creek. It's really cool. The salmon spawn up that way, and there's a lot. We ran into a ranger that was telling us there was a. Well, we ran into the ranger because Sean popped the tire on the truck, you know, and he drove by the first time. Then he wanted to talk to us. We had to fix our tire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but he was telling us there were some record fish up there, and so you guys will have to Google it.
Yeah. So I mean, the trading is a journey.
Yep.
But the journey is definitely worth it, right?
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do anything else.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know what to do if they barred me from trading. I wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah. And it's a lot of fun, and it gives you the. I think everybody, you know. One of the things that I took away from Calgary is I asked everybody. I asked everybody who was there at the meeting, why do you trade? And the answer resoundingly was to have time, right?
Yeah,
the freedom of time. I love that.
Yeah, they didn't say money.
It wasn't money.
Free time.
Yeah.
I want my free time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a saying that you'll like. It's, I want to free my mind, so it's got to be simple. You know, I want to free my mind to free my time, so that I don't have to do the mundane things in life like eke out a living.
Yeah.
I want to go have fun. So I want to free my mind to free my time so that I can go and do something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, I think for me, I haven't been trading for 30 years. My first exposure to trading was, you know, 6 years ago with the Apiary Fund, but I hadn't been trading the whole time. Yeah. I've only been trading full time for just a couple of years. But, you know, I can't wait to be 5-10 years down the road and have that much experience. It seems like every year you trade, you get that much better. You know, even you know, Sean, he still gets better at trading.
That's, for sure. With Sean, I love to heckle the guy. He won't trade at my house anymore because I know when he's getting into a pickle in a trade. I can tell by his demeanor. But I'll totally mess with him. I'll tug his beard. We're having a beard growing contest, and I'm losing. His beard's a lot nicer looking. We've known each other since I think we met in 2001, and his beard's looking better. Mine's looking a little scrabby, but I'm still going to work on it. I'm going to catch him up and beat him on that. But yeah, I can tell when he's starting to get upset in trading. I've been around him a long time, and so I'll tease him when he starts getting down. It drives him nuts. Yep.
Yeah. So. Okay, so just a couple more questions. What advice would you give somebody that is just starting their trading career? What would you tell them?
Sean and I talked about this a lot. We've talked about this a lot. I think everybody should start in Forex. Not options, not stocks. Most of them start in stocks and options.
Why is that?
Because what do you think the real advantage in Forex is?
The real advantage is liquidity, right? But
for me, it is the ability to size to 0.01.
Okay, so micro trading. Okay.
Well, because
that makes sense.
The only way that you can trade and win, if you took a breakout, sometimes it'll run up 1 pip and come down, and sometimes it'll run up this much and come down. That's the tough part in trading.
Yeah.
That's the part that's a bugger. What if you did in math, like statistics or computer science, they call it super sampling sometimes. What if you just took a 0.01 lot and sold it there, but you left some for Dream Zone? And that's what big institutions can do with stocks and options, because you have to have lots of money. You buy 100 shares, maybe you bought 10,000 shares. You can tier in and out. The biggest advantage of Forex is you can tier in and out at small sizes, but you can do it after work. So you don't have to worry about like your job and stuff. You can do it after work or before work. Yeah. Like I heard Dave talking to his son. He's teaching his son to trade and saying, look, just close your trades out before you have to go to school or you have to do something. That's a smart move, and that's an advantage in forcing tier in and out. Have a little size and learn.
Yeah.
You can learn on a little bit that's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to have $5, $10, $20, $50,000 account
Yeah.
to start.
Yeah, Greenspan
you know what I
said
mean?
in stocks that you're underfunded. This is Greenspan, unless you have 25K. That's came out of his irrational exuberance speech. Yeah, that's a little high. You don't need that. But you know, and the other thing I like about it is you can get the money instantly. I like that a lot.
Last question, and then we'll let you go.
Yeah.
Is there one, maybe not one, but is there, like, off the top of your head, do you use any indicators or align yourself with any techniques out there? I mean, you showed us the Twitter tech.
Yeah.
The Twitter technique,
trading.
the
Yeah.
Twitter trading,
Yeah.
which is awesome. But is there anything that you personally align yourself with, or do you just kind of do it yourself with more of a feel of the market? I mean, how do you kind of?
So Sean's more of a, I can do it by the feel. And, I'm not. I'm one of those guys where you got to prove it to me.
Okay.
So the way that I met Sean is I had developed a technique, was written up in Stocks and Commodities doing this. If you take R and S right here, and that's resistance support. They build like a little price cycle, a pay range, or they call it a price cycle, time cycle. And what I do is I take the number of bars between this at that time of day and plug them into like an RSI. Makes them way more accurate. And so I'll use that. But really, it doesn't matter to me anymore how I enter a trade. What I have to work on, Dave, personally, is my thought processes. Like, is someone in my family sick, or did my grandma die, or I have to stop trading at certain times, and I have to be cognitive of that, because that's where I've lost the most money in my life.
So when life happens, and it will,
yeah, it will.
You need to be cognizant of, you know what, maybe I shouldn't trade today, maybe I shouldn't trade this week because I'm just not in the mind right, and my mind's not right.
Yeah. So
right?
I'll tell you guys a funny one about Sean. So the night before we traded with John, he cleaned up. So that next night, after he's done, he's really tired because he hasn't slept. He stays up and trades again. Guess what? It didn't go very good for him. He didn't do very good. I said, I told you need to get some sleep. Now, I'm 10 years older than Sean, known him for a long time. I said, you should have went to bed, because that's why you got your fanny kicked. And he does it all the time like that. He'll stretch himself really thin, and then his brain kind of goes mushy. Yeah. So if I ever compete against him in trading contests, I will either pull his beard, or I'll rub his knee. That makes him uncomfortable. Or I'll wear him out. I'll take him out to a concert like Saturday night, and then Sunday. Then we'll get into it. So I cheat. That's how I beat him.
That's how you beat him.
Yeah, that's how I beat him all the time. But yeah.
I actually has made me a better trader trying to compete with him. So
Yeah,
I know that
fun.
competing's fun.
Yeah, he's got some stuff coming up that's really fun.
I often use the beard trick. I haven't done that yet, but I haven't won yet.
Yeah.
But I've gotten a lot better because of competition.
Yeah.
But actually, I lied. I beat him one day. You want to know how I beat him?
How?
We were in a contest. He didn't trade. I'm like, what do you mean we didn't trade? He's like, he was too busy to trade. So I'm like, well, I'll take this as a win then.
Yeah, we have a lot of competition between us with fishing. That's why Dave was making fun. I caught the first fish this big. It was a little bigger than that, Dave. It was about this big. You might see me a little bit more. Sean's going to be busy this week and next week, I think, because he's going to be a granddad this week.
That's awesome.
He's a little worried, a little stressed.
First one, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm going to also, but it'd be the second one. But my daughter lived in a duplex Sean and I renovated, and she lived on the bottom floor. Sean's lived on the top floor. They both got pregnant or doing the same month. It had to have been in the water. Dave.
It's in the water.
It's in the water. Yep. So I might fill in for him a little bit over the next couple weeks, because he's got that going on, and he's got some busy stuff going on. He didn't come back with us. The bomb flew from Calgary to Vegas. He should have rode with us. Yeah.
I think it's easy to pick on him because he's not here to defend himself.
That's right. Yeah.
So maybe we shouldn't do that much, but that's all right. I think the bottom line here, and thank you for your time. Thank you for getting on camera and allowing us to spend a little bit of time with Jeff Crystal, guys. If you have an opportunity to check him out, he does teach a calendar. I think every what time?
Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Okay, so if you
and the reason I do that, Sean's really altruistic and very kind, but this makes me dial into the market because I'm going to teach a class. I have to.
Yeah, you got to learn it.
Yeah,
right?
because sometimes I'm lazy and don't want to get up.
That makes sense. Yeah. It keeps you sharp.
Yeah.
Keeps your so you got to sharpen your axe before you cut down a tree, right?
Yeah, it keeps me sharp and keeps me on top of it. And sometimes one of the nice things about trading, Dave, an advantage is you only need to trade when you need to make money. You don't have to be greedy. You can trade. You can sleep in. Like, I want a nap. Yeah.
That's a great point. I mean, for all, to each their own, right? You can take trading however far you want to take it, but for me, it's just about time, right? And if I don't need millions and millions of dollars to have a freedom of time, right? It's just enough to keep my lifestyle the way I want it, and whatever that lifestyle is for you, or whatever that means for you, that's what trading can give you.
I'm going to share one thing before we go.
Okay.
My oldest daughter that's expecting, she drew this. It said, Dad's best friend, Dad's best buddy. Okay. She got the chart right. There was a chart going up. She drew a little flip phone over here, you know, a little cell phone with the antenna on it, and my printer over here. And after she did that, she was really young, I valued my time more than my money. And it changed me a lot. Yeah, I would rather.
Because she could see where your time was spent.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And so I didn't want to spend all my time on that. So that's where I like more. I used to day trade all the time, but I prefer longer term trades because it gives me more time. Yep. And then I don't have to feel guilty about that.
Well, again, thank you for your thoughts, and I'm gonna have to call on you again sometime soon.
Yeah,
I'll have to do this again. This was great, so I appreciate it. And for like I said, for those of you guys who haven't yet had an opportunity to sit in and listen to Jeff teach, you need to take the opportunity to get in one of his classes, pick his brain. He has a wealth of knowledge. We just had a small sample of the things that he knows, and we're very grateful for your time, because we talked a lot about that, and so giving us a little bit of your time, it means a lot, and so I appreciate that. That being said, I hope everybody saw benefit, saw value, and hopefully you can take the tweet trade, incorporate it into your style, your technique, and let's all take the journey together.
Yeah, ask Dave about it some more too. If you don't see me online, you'll see Dave. Grab him, and he can explain some of that to you.
Yeah. So once again, thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it, and we'll call it there.